good morning. We welcome you and your family, your friends, to Unity of Bellingham, where we honor the universal truths in all religions, and we respect each individual's right to choose their spiritual path. I'm Liz Leighton, and I'm your service assistant today. And our music today is provided by our lovely Heart and Soul. That's the one. Okay. Thank you. I tell you if I don't have things written down. And today, Reverend Frank's message is the new casting director.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
And now, in the stillness of God's love, let's rest into this time of prayer. Allow my words to be yours. I know the truth of each dear one I hold in prayer. What an honor it is to hold others in prayer. Let's take a moment to just speak aloud or hold in your heart the names of those for whom you pray. I am grateful for this sacred trust and use it to see beyond appearances, knowing that those for whom we pray are experiencing temporary conditions. Let us focus on the unchangeable truth that each one of us, each one for whom we pray, is a divine being and living as an expression of God. As we pray for others, let's envision divine peace, calming thoughts, and strengthening faith. We envision healing leading to the realization of wholeness. We pray that divine love and wisdom create harmony in relationships, guiding every decision. We give thanks, grateful to bless others with the gift of prayer. And as we relax a little more deeply, we are one with God, open and receptive to divine light, wisdom, and life. I am one with God, open and receptive to divine light, wisdom, and life. The presence and power of God is always with me, available to me in all situations. How empowering it feels to know the same creative force responsible for extensive galaxies and brilliant sunrises is also part of who I am. God is the one presence. If I feel opposed, separate, or influenced negatively, it is because I have distanced or blocked myself from this goodness. If I feel separation, it's up to me to reopen my mind, my heart, and my life to the flow of good that is always seeking us. I affirm I am one with God, open and receptive to divine love, light, wisdom, and life. Affirm this to your soul. I am one with God, open and receptive to divine love, light, wisdom, and life. And so it is.
I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and the green was easy and the rivers ran clear. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and peace spread over the land. And the flowers bloom in the desert, dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and the subway was easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and the sound was easy and the song was clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. And the guardian stars are shining, and the night is bright and clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. And the guardian stars are shining, and the night is bright and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of autumn and the winds changed.
So did you add that last part, dreaming of autumn? I never heard that before. And here we are. I never heard that part. Wow, that's fun. Yeah, so we're finishing, sadly, we're finishing a piece we've been doing for a couple months on the Gospel of John from a book that our co-founder Charles Filmer wrote called The Mysteries of John. And George has been leading us. George is here. Where's George? And right in the front. I'm looking back. Hi, George. Leading us in a class on the metaphysics of this piece, the Gospel of John. But one of the pieces, like sort of foundational, and this is a unity piece, but I want to present this, and we talk about this quite often, but just to set the table, if you will. There's a sense of the Trinity and unity, and the Trinity is that there's a mind that has ideas that express. And so the divine, God, if you will, the divine source, the divine principle of all is the divine mind. And the divine mind creates divine ideas which divinely express. And we've talked about, we do this every Lent pretty much, that the whole book of Genesis, the whole story of creation is a story about the creation of ideas, of divine ideas that then can express on the spiritual plane. The piece of Genesis is creating the spiritual world. Like, well, didn't they create fish? Yeah, they created the fish, the symbol, the divine idea of abundance. Well, didn't God create a bird? Yeah, the divine idea of thoughts, the multitude of thoughts. You know, all of these are an expression of how we create on the spiritual plane. And what's beautiful is there's this parallel, because everything that gets created on the spiritual plane can show up, can be provided through this idea of substance, of divine substance. And so what's in the spiritual plane then unfolds into the material plane that we see. So we see, and the material plane is awesome. It's wonderful. The trap is that we think the material plane is the real plane. That what we see is it. This is reality. This is an expression of divine ideas. The material is this showing up of an expression of something that's sacred. So we see the spiritual outpicturing into the material, but when we see the material and think that's it, it's not it. It's expression. It's expression of the ideal plane. It's this expression. And so things show up in two levels. And so we have to have this flexibility of our way we show up. It's like it's material. It is, but it's also reflective of the spiritual. Oh, it's spiritual. Well, it is, but it's also the material. So you're saying it's material. Well, it is material, but it's an expression of the spiritual. And it's this beautiful dance we can live in of the material and as an outpicturing of this spiritual reality. And so I want to get to the Gospel of John, and so setting the stage here. So here we are in the Gospel of John, and what happens is there's a resurrection event, and the disciples, various go to the tomb, and there's Mary Magdalene, one of the lead apostles, the disciples of Jesus, this disciple of love. It shows up at the tomb, and Jesus is standing there, and Mary, it says, doesn't recognize him. Doesn't recognize him. And it's funny because then the next chapter, the one I want to talk about, the very last chapter, the chapter 20, as a matter of fact, it's a piece I want to talk about that there seems to be an ending of the gospel, and all of a sudden there's this extra piece that was added on. And no one really knows, was it the same author? Was it added? But clearly it was a story that was attached to this gospel at the very end. And once again, the disciples go, and this is really funny. Well, we've been on this ministry for years. We've been following our teacher, and the master has been killed by the authorities and the Romans, and now we don't know what to do. And so, I don't know, let's go fishing. Think about these stories. What are we going to do? I don't know, let's go fish. And of course, it's a story in the material plane, and you think, oh, the disciples went fishing, but we have to have that flexibility to go, what's the spiritual? There's something behind this story. There's something behind this. And so they're out fishing, and Jesus walks up on the shore and he says, children, have you caught anything? And they look out and they see this guy, and they don't recognize him. Again, they don't. And I pondered that. It's like, you've just been hanging out with this guy for years. Why do you not recognize him? Because somehow because they don't recognize the material. They on the finite plane, they're saying something's different. But here's the beauty, that this Jesus presence, this Christ presence in the story, this presence that's true of all of us, as it evolves, as it emerges, as it transcends, as all of us move on this plane, we show up and then manifest a little bit different on the material. It's an evolution. We keep moving. We can change. We evolve. But the energy, the spirituality behind it is the same. It's emerging, it's evolving. This is part of the 12 powers of our life, that we can just keep showing up and emerging. And then he talks to them and they go, oh, now we recognize you. Ponder that. When and this is the case of Jesus, but make it a case for ourselves. I ask myself, it's that sort of question. Would someone even recognize, if the people 30 years ago, would they even know me today? Would they even recognize me? Have you gone to your high school reunion? That's why you have name tags, right? And not only a change, physically as we grow, but is there a change, the divine ideas that come? I remember when I caught this, I remember thinking that say, now, prayer isn't just asking for goodies, right? But there is a sense in prayer, sometimes we hold prayer and we say, we'd really like to see something show up in our lives. And there's this sense where we go, I see it in my mind, and now I want it to express. But we're missing the whole middle ground. When we pray, and I thought that's fascinating. The way I pray is to open up, not to the expression, but to the ideas. Mind, ideas that express. So we're not looking for I'm going to determine what that final expression should look like. Rather, open to the potentiality of ideas and allow those ideas to direct us in their potential for what's the possibilities. And all of a sudden, what expresses might turn out to be very different than we thought originally. Have you ever said, my prayers were answered? Not like I thought they were going to be, but all of a sudden I see, oh, look what showed up. Mind, idea, expression. And that's the mind of the divine mind, divine ideas that divinely express. And we, as the Christ of us, can parallel divine mind, allow my mind to harmonize with divine mind so that my ideas are in harmony with divine ideas so that what I express is in the divine flow. And so here's what happens. They go and he says, children, have you caught anything? The disciples were out in a boat because that's what you do after your master's dead. You go fishing and they're out in the boat and they're fishing. And he says, children, have you caught anything? They said, no, we've been out all night. We've caught nothing. He said, throw your net on the right side. Net, metaphysically, open your mind. Open your mind. A net is like the mind. And put it on the right side. They threw the net out, and all of a sudden there was such an abundance of fish. The boat's like tipping over. They got all these fish. And someone goes, it's the master. And Peter, and I don't get this. There's some symbology here. Peter, who says he's got basically nothing on, puts clothes on and then jumps in the water. I think usually I'd be like, hey, I'm going to swim. So anyhow, George, we can unpack. I don't know what that's about, but there's a metaphysical meaning there somewhere. Peter swims in, and all the rest of them tow this, and the net doesn't break. The net doesn't break. The mind can hold this potentiality of possibilities, of potentiality, and they come in. And Jesus, what does the resurrected Jesus do? He cooks breakfast. Feeds them, cooks breakfast. And think in both terms, right? Think in terms of the material, but not because it's the material event. What is the symbology behind this material? What do we do when we reach levels of awakened awareness? Go sit on a mountain, or maybe serve our friends at breakfast. There's this beautiful and this simplicity of the service of all that. And so he serves when he has fish and bread. And I'm reading this morning, I'm going, fish and bread, and I'm thinking, bagels and salmon. Didn't have any salmon. But I did have some toast and peanut butter. There's no peanut butter in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. I don't think they had it in Palestine in those days. But I think, George, you can tell me later where peanut butter adds in the revealing word. But there's something pretty remarkable about it. I thought about that. Anyhow, here's the beauty of it. When we open the mind to the potentiality, and you catch this abundance of fish, ideas, the ideas, profundity of ideas. And he serves them bread, and bread is symbolic of substance. And so here's a profundity of potential ideas, and you can put it into substance so it can manifest in your life, and you can eat it. And it's there for you. And it never ends. It's this abundance of fish when we're aligned with this way, this abundance. And bread is substance, and the fish is always abundance. And there it is, just cooking on the fire, and here you go. About that. And you see it in life, right? I mean, the tree out here, I went and got some boughs, and I'm tripping on, not just a few of them fall, the cedar cones or the fir cones or think of it as like an acorn. You've got like this oak tree, and it says, well, it's my job to make more oak, so I'll drop a few acorns here. They don't drop a few acorns. It's thousands of them all over the place. And they all don't grow. Just maybe one or two do, and some of them survive. But nature, the way of life, the way of ideas, there's this profundity of potentiality, so that the one that is needed to rise to the top, the one you need to have, that one is the one that produces profound. So again, I'm going to repeat this. You don't say, I have an idea of this very specific thing I want to express in my life, so I'm going to go to divine mind and ask for that thing. And we can't skip the whole middle part. I'm open to the divine ideas that will allow my heart to move to this expression that I'm feeling. I think it might be that, or maybe it's something totally different. And this is not only true in the manifest world. In the manifest world, it is true in the world of spirit. It's like, yeah, I want that, I always joke, that white Tesla. But it's like, or is it, I want a more profundity in the way I show up in love. Give me ideas on how I can show up and be a more loving human being. Give me ideas of how I show up with a greater kindness or greater generosity or greater balance, greater harmony in my life, how do I do? Give me the ideas of, and the ideas come and then I manifest them both externally and internally and externally. It's this game. It's the outer and the inner, and we play back and forth, right? Yeah. So I was thinking about that and like how this abundance takes place. So I'm going to pause here. Let's celebrate that abundance. Let's celebrate how that all comes together. We hosted a 30s act here last night. There's a blessing. I think maybe you all know it. It's our unity blessing. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. I behold the Christ that you are. That's the blessing. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate. I behold the Christ that you are. The Christ is the idea that contains all ideas. We talk about the 12 powers of fullness of all the 12 powers of fullness of the abundance of all ideas that show up in a manifest person who's manifesting in life. That we call the Christ. And we see this Christ energy and this profundity of potentiality showing up all the time. Kathy, would you stand up for a minute, please? Just stand up. Someone says, I got an idea. Maybe I can do a 30s radio show. Would you be willing to do 40s? Yeah, 30s, okay, sorry. 40s radio show. And I could do it at Unity. And I can find a bunch of people, and they'll be actors, and they'll show up. Liz, stand up as well. We have one of our actors here. And they say, sure, and they come, and they get tables, and they put this whole thing together, and 80 people show up and watch this really wonderful production of the Maltese Falcon. And it's just this profound idea. It was just an idea. And then look what happens. Liz and Kathy, get your hands up for a second. Yeah, Kathy and Liz, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ that you are. These ideas that show up. And so a bunch of other people had ideas too. We have a group here called Movers and Shakers. And what do? We sit around and have ideas. And then we decided to come and help these guys put it on. And so, Greg, would you stand up? Our greeter, Greg, stand up. Malin, stand up as a greeter. Jane and Jim in the back who did the service. Jay Scott, who did all the AV. Rosemarie, who serves. Rosemarie, stand up, please. Malin, stand up, please. Diane, who are serving, if you'd please stand up. Gary, who set up tables. Dak and Kelly, who are sleeping in after being here till midnight. Who else? Who am I missing? Who is here doing this? Wait. Everyone, movers and shakers. Am I missing anyone here? I got you all. Okay. Movers and shakers, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ that you are. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then, this, okay, you guys can sit down. These ideas, how do we express? So Malin goes, I got art projects, and we can do 12 powers, and you'll notice all the new art up on the back wall that Malin helps us work through on third Fridays. Malin, would you stand up for our local artist? Malin, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ that you are. And then on first Fridays, we decide to have an open mic. Vicky, Joe, you stand up. JJ, stand up. You guys, they come and they open it up and say, we have divine ideas. Let's express. Let's see what can possibly express. Stand up. Vicky, Joe, and JJ. Oh, and who else who am I missing? Oh, and Kathy's going to help. So for all you've done over this last year, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ that you are. Oh, and that's not all, because in the middle of all this and all these people doing all this work, there's a group behind it all called the Board of Trustees. And Greg, would you stand up? And Malin, stand up. And Carrie's not here. And George, please stand up. And Jana, she's coming later. Rosemarie, stand up. And LM, our president, stand up. Board of Directors, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ that you are. And these are all the people these are idea generators. all the stuff that you see expressing this unfolding of unity of Bellingham, all these people creating these ideas. And then, oh, here's a good one. There's also all the people who set up and put up food. That's invisible to me. You just go back and pie. How about the music ministry? Yeah. How about, Marcia and Deborah and Kate and Kathy stand up and be surrogates for all the other great musicians that we have that we don't see right now. But musicians, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ that you are. Yeah, they don't do the same song every day. They're generating ideas, they're generating potentiality, they're generating music, and they don't even sing the same song the same way. It's this continually unfolding the potentiality of the divine through that mind idea. Or what, you do? I missed it. Okay. Their secret. And then here's an interesting thing. We talk about spiritual practice all the time and how we want our own spiritual practice to be evolving and emerging and changing. And we're going to do something here in just a minute I want to teach you a final spiritual practice. But before that, will we realize that even coming together and getting up, and I don't know about you, but the alarm seemed really early to me this morning, but nevertheless showing up to support each other, to pray with each other, to create a resonant field. It's not just showing up they're actually, by being here in this present, this spiritual thing, we create a harmonic field. It's a vibrational field that supports all of our spiritual growth just by sitting in this room with each other and saying prayers and encouraging each other. Everybody look around the room. Instead of we, we'll use the word I. Look around. Hey, everybody, for being here today and for those who couldn't make it today, I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. And I behold the Christ that you are. Yeah. Can you feel into that? And this whole idea generation, this whole place of ideas, I want to lead you through something to end here. And this will take about, a few minutes. But I learned this at the Unity Ministers Retreat this weekend. And it was told to me that Charles Fillmore used to do this. I don't think it's published anywhere, not that I know of. And some people sat with Charles Fillmore and he used to do this 12-power meditation, just a focus on the 12 powers of our life. And then one of the persons who knew this told a minister who's in our region, Charles Fillmore, our tradition's not that old. It's a little over 100 years. I've met people who hung out with Charles Fillmore. We're still in that next generation of this movement. It's still emerging and evolving. And this meditation was given to someone who was at the retreat and taught it to us. I said, oh, that's good. And I thought it was good, And then I felt it. And I really felt the power of this awakening of these divine energies, divine potentialities. And so I'm going to share it with you. And as I go through it, it's kind of a way of going through the 12 powers and then just enlivening them in the place in our physical being where they are. But as we do this, remember, there's two things going on. There's that place in our physical being, but there's also the spiritual energy that it aligns with, the divine energy. For example, the divine energy of faith shows up and manifests in our life in actual practical ways. And yet it's something that exists on the spiritual plane, not on the material plane, and yet it shows up on the material plane. Here we go again. It's there and it's there. It's both. And so allow these energies as we go through this 12-power meditation, just to touch you in the sense of the physical plane, but then be open and receptive to how it might be moving the energies, the vibrations of our being, of our spiritual being, for our highest and our next evolution, our next emergence. So if you will, just close your eyes and be comfortable in your seat for a second. And imagine energy reaching to how you might perceive the heavens, the fullness of the of the allness of consciousness and take a, like you might imagine, a ball of energy, a ball of light, a focal point of energy, and allow that divine energy to settle right on the top of your head. And let my words be your words. Faith, I am faith. I am the power of faith. I trust. I am open to faith. I trust. I am faith. Now allow that focal point of divine energy to work its way down to above your left eyebrow. Will. I am will. I am the power of will. I choose. I choose for the divine unfolding, for the highest and best in my life. I make choices, aligned choices in harmony with the divine. I am will. Now allow that energy to move over to above your right eyebrow. Understanding. I am understanding. I am the power of understanding. I realize. I realize divine ideas. I realize. I am understanding. And now allow that energy, that focal point of divine energy, to come to your third eye energy, right above your nose. Yeah. Imagination. I am imagination. I envision. I create. I create. I am imagination. Now allow that energy to move to the just top of your neck, right at the top of your spine. That energy there. Zeal. I am zeal. I am the power of zeal. I am focused energy. Focused energy. I am zeal. And allow that energy to move to the base of your throat, sort of right where your back of your tongue meets your throat. Feel that energy there. Power. I am power. I am divine power expressing His power. I am power for the good. Power for the good. I am power. Now allowing that divine energy, that vital energy to drop down into your heart space and let it just fill the entire heart space, surrounding that heart space and enlivening the area just right there behind your heart, your spiritual energy, right? Your spiritual heart right there next to, behind, filling your heart. Love. I am love. I am the power of love. I am harmony. I am unity. I harmonize all things in my world into an expression of love. I am love. Then allowing that energy to drop to the top of your solar plexus. Yeah, wisdom. I am wisdom. I discern. I discern in harmony with divine ideas. I discern rightly. I discern harmoniously. I am wisdom. Letting that energy, that focal point of energy, drop down even further to just below your navel. Order. I am order. I express in divine order. I create balance in my life and put things into order. I am order. Now allow that energy to move back to the lower part of your back. Right in that small part of your lower back. Strength. I am strength. I am firm. I am stable. I allow things to happen through me. I am strength. And allowing that energy to move down to the very bottom of your tailbone. Focus the energy there. Elimination. I am elimination. And I allow all things that no longer serve me, things in the material plane, things in my life, ideas that do not serve me, thoughts that do not serve me, old stories that do not serve me, I allow them to just leave. Elimination. And the power of elimination. And then moving your energy to your generative organs. Life. I am life. I express life in harmony and balance with all my other powers. I express vital energy for the world. I am life. Now allowing this light, this vital energy, this ball of connection that started with everything in faith in the heavens to keep moving down through your thighs, to your knees, your calves, to your feet, and then connecting with the Mother Earth, making this full connection, heaven to earth, being that harmonious connecting presence with all the divine and all the manifestations into the world, and all the ways we're called to show up, to be that presence. Now just relaxing into that energy for a moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. So I'll leave you with this gift for today. It's hopefully if you'll find, if you want a copy of it, I can get you a copy, but maybe you can remember that. Charles Fillmore meditation, shared a couple people down the line with our founders for health, for healing, for transformation. Charles Fillmore, we love you, bless you, appreciate you, and behold the Christ in you. Thank you, founders. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy.